Everybody, and welcome to our first session of Group Coaching Explore Exercise. Thanks for being here today. So before we get into it, I wanted to go over some few details to kind of help you through the process over these next 5 weeks. First of all, my name is Megan. I am a health coach at Intera Health, and what I normally do for coaching is one-on-one sessions, and we wanted to introduce the group coaching concept to your group because I think it's really beneficial to have a few different opportunities for coaching. Not everybody is interested in one-on-one, not everybody's interested in group coaching, so it kind of appeals to many different people. So that's kind of the intent of why we started this. Also, another reason we got into group coaching in this type of format through the GoToWebinar option is because we're also geographically spread apart. Really, there will never be an option for all of us to be in one room together to do this coaching. So it's kind of a unique opportunity to utilize technology to its fullest. And hopefully you guys can learn something along the way. So what I will have is if you are dialing in just on the phone, I'll try and send out slides ahead of time so you can at least print them out and have them with you. Otherwise, if you are able to dial in and get on your computer, that's really the best opportunity for learning, but we'll make do with whatever we can at this point. So just wanted to get a little bit into what health coaching is for those of you who may not be as familiar. I don't want to assume anything. So basically what health coaching is it's a conversation designed to inspire and challenge you to focus on what you want for your health and wellness and help you keep an eye on that path that will take you to that place. So although we are in this group setting, the focus is really on you, the individual, meaning that everyone's goals and objectives are different, and it's really focusing on what you want for your health. And this is kind of a unique opportunity to do that. So group coaching is set up to be confidential. So I can see the attendees that are participating, but each attendee can't see another attendee. So if you do want to participate or ask questions along the way, I'll keep the names confidential. But what the sessions will be more formatted to be educational based. So there'll be like a topic of the week, and then we'll kind of focus on that, and then I'll kind of give you an opportunity to work on that topic or to give you homework in some capacity. So that's kind of what our intention is. And just so you are familiar with GoToWebinar, there's an opportunity to type in questions on the side panel there. So if you do have questions along the way, or you want to say, hey, Megan, I can't hear you, or something's wrong, or I'm going to be leaving early, or whatever, just feel free to type that in, and so I can at least communicate with you via that. Otherwise, feel free to shoot me an email or call me anytime for any reason. That option is always open. So we'll be meeting for the next 5 weeks at the same time, same place. So if you're able to make it, great. And if not, I totally get it. Life happens. Just let me know. I will be recording these sessions and sending them out after so you can catch up if you are unable to make it, or even if you want to listen again, that's always an option. So the intent of these sessions is to be educational, challenging, fun, and hopefully rewarding to you. So let's get started. So why are we here? You know, what kind of brought us here? My guess is that I'm sure you have a pretty good idea of the reason you're here. You know, everybody's motivated by different reasons, whether it's the incentive, whether it's your health, or maybe a little bit of both. That's great. Perfect. So what I want to focus on is kind of focusing in on what you want for yourself, what you want for your health, and if it's something that we need to either start at the beginning, or if we maybe need to re-spark that motivation. You know why you're here, you know what you want to achieve for your health. So how do we get there? How do we get from point A to point B? So then the first thing that I would advise, is to kind of develop a plan of action or a game plan, right? So the first thing is we need to identify your why, your reason why you are motivated to make the change now. And I really want to stress that the reason should really be purely yours, something that really stems from you, meaning I would hesitate if you came to me and said, Megan, I want to eat healthy because my doctor wants me to. Or Megan, I want to meet with you because I want to lose weight because my spouse is pushing me to. So those are really good reasons. Don't get me wrong. Other people caring about you is a good thing. But when you're talking about your initial deep core motivation, that really has to stem from what you want for yourself. It has to be that way. Otherwise, you will make the change. You can make the change. You'll make improvements. Excuse me, but you won't. What I've seen is that the improvements and the changes won't be lasting, and it won't really stem from what you want for yourself. So the next step is to create a wellness vision, or maybe said differently, a place that you ultimately want to be with your health, right? Kind of looking off into the future. What does that look like when you've reached your goals? Physically, how do you feel? What do you look like? What is your energy? How are the people impacted around you? What I would stress is to write this down. When we move through this process, maybe getting a little notebook or a place where you can write your notes out, having that for yourself is really going to be beneficial. So you can kind of go back when maybe your motivation isn't as high and kind of look to see what was it that I wanted and why did I want it, and kind of have that, if it's a few words or a phrase, drawing a picture, cutting out magazine pictures like in art class, whatever you need to do, make it real and make it what you want. I had an individual who cut out a picture of them, in their past life, maybe 5-10 years ago, and that was what they wanted, and that was great because it's them. So, well, one, they've been there before, so they know they can achieve it now, and then two, it's realistic. It's what they want, and they had that motivation with a previous picture of themselves. So maybe to give you some ideas to kind of get you in that direction of what a sample vision statement would look like. And once again, these are just samples, but maybe it can get you thinking about what you want for yourself. One of them is to have the knowledge and understanding of what healthy foods are and how to properly fuel my body or propel my body. To feel good about the foods that I put in my body and not to have regrets or guilt after I eat. To have enough energy to sustain my busy schedule. Lots of us have busy schedules, right? And then another example would be to be able to live long enough to play with my grandkids. So once again, these are just samples, something to kind of get you going, get your mind, motoring in the direction that would make sense for you and what your vision statement is. So once we kind of establish your reason why and you develop your vision statement, it's time to kind of get into the action. How can we get to that place? How can we put those into goals or objectives? So when I talk about goals, that would be really the long term, 3 to 6 months out. And objectives are more of like the short term, 1 to 2 weeks out, what we're actually going to be working on in between each session. So just very clear kind of what I talk about goals and objectives. So when you think about goals, the best way to formulate them are to put them into a SMART goal. SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based. You may have heard of this in many different capacities throughout, businesses or even if you're in school, depending on what you are doing, you may have heard this to be a beneficial way to develop and achieve goals. So SMART specific is spelling out the who, the what, the where, and the when. So I specifically want to eat 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. That's very specific, right? Kind of on the opposite end of something you don't want to do is I just want to eat better. That's not really a goal. It's not really specific to where you want to be. M is measurable. Something that can really help is to measure your goal. How can you attain or meet that goal? How can you measure it? What does it mean when you achieve it, right? Attainable and realistic are kind of, balancing on that fine line of weighing the efforts and the time with other obligations and priorities, kind of thinking about your life and thinking about how to set yourself up to be successful and have these be attainable and realistic in your life. And then the last one is time-based. Set a time frame to achieve. And I always like to say time frames can be loose, but just set it, set a 3-month goal, set a 6-month goal, 6-week goal, whatever it is, just set it and be okay, changing that, but at least you've set it initially. Some other ideas to get you going on goal setting is, as I mentioned, when you write down what your reason is, your vision or your why, when you're stuck, you'll have a place to go back and kind of revisit that. When you're kind of low on motivation or maybe you haven't seen the progress you want to, kind of go back to why and kind of remotivate you, spark that motivation again. Be flexible and forgiving. If you get off track, don't get down on yourself. Just pick yourself up right where you left off. Don't think of it as starting over. What I really encourage is to just start where you left off. And that doesn't have to be constantly starting over. Just pick up next day, the next meal, the next workout, whatever it is. Just pick up where you left off. Stay positive. There's a lot to be said with positive self-talk and encouraging yourself. I mean, we have to be our best cheerleaders, our loudest cheerleaders. Otherwise, there will be people who do it along the way. I mean, I will be a huge cheerleader for you, but really keeping that positivity within yourself is the best way to go. And then just learning from your setbacks. What have you done in the past that maybe helped you reach your goals or maybe haven't helped you reach your goals, and kind of learn from that. I have a picture of Albert Einstein on this page because one of my favorite quotes from him is the definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over again but expecting different results. So how will you change your approach this time? Okay, guys, so before next time, what I would encourage you to do is focus on your wellness vision and start crafting out your reason why. I think this will be a great place to be. And then if you get to it, start writing out a goal or SMART goal that relates to your vision. And then think about what in your past has maybe prevented you or has been a barrier from stopping you from gaining that success. Just kind of think out those things. I will recap this in an email to you as well. And we'll plan on meeting next week, same time, same place. And our next session topic will be the benefits of exercise. Okay, sounds good, guys. Well, thanks again for being here today. I will be sending out all the information after our session, and we'll plan to talk next week, Monday in the morning. And until then, have a great day.